All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday, and welcome to the final NXT before Stand and Deliver. So we're in New York City, fresh off of Monday Night Raw at Madison Square Garden. We're at the theater in Madison Square Garden. I think that's what it's called. The sort of adjacent building there. And we're going to find out what the rest of this Stand and Deliver card is going to look like by the end of the night tonight, as Stand and Deliver is rapidly approaching on Saturday. So here we go. New York City. So yeah, we have Lola Vice and Kendal Gray tonight. We've got a tag. We have to determine who's going to face the Vanity Project for the tag titles. Sorry, I'm dropping things like crazy over here. Sorry about that. We've got a Booker T special, No Bread, No Water, with Jasper Troy and Keanu Carver. There's Lola Vice. You think it's going to be a triple threat, George? Hello to George. Hello to Dossie. Hello to Tyrell. Good to see you guys. Last name, welcome to the chat. And there is the Ren QCC. Joe Hendry here as well. Sup, Shamanica? Good to see you. I'm eating some dry cereal because I just needed a snack. But coming right up here, is that DarkState? Oh, it's the it's the 6-man tag. So we've got DarkState versus OTM and Mike Santana on loan from TNA. So I guess that's how we're starting the show tonight. Let's see here if OTM has going to be bringing the pain tonight. You got to imagine whoever comes out of this, too, in terms of tag teams, should have their eyes on the tag belts after Stand and Deliver. It's kind of a gentle entrance theme here. There we go. You just got to wait for the beat to drop. So I guess Santana is going to get his own entrance, which is fair. He is TNA champion. Largest pop is for Santana. So in terms of main event tonight, last name, if it's going to be a match, I would say it should be Lola and Kendal. However, I think we're going to have confrontations. We're having a contract signing tonight, I think, for the NXT title. And Zarya and Soul might also be having a segment too. We'll see. Sub Lockwood. Oh yeah, OTM and Santana would. Yeah, they're certainly made for each other. Booker's in a mood tonight. A good one. He sounds hyped. It's a very intimate environment, kind of a small building, but it's packed tight and it's loud. So this is probably going to feel kind of black and goldish tonight, I'm imagining. I want to talk about their opponents, the 3 men we see in DarkState. Are we in the darkest days of DarkState? DarkState realize it's not going to be as easy as they thought it was going to be. Oh, they got to man up. They got to become that one unit that can take this whole thing down, man. I don't know if they can do it. The new LAX. I like that. What's up, my father? All right, my father. We'll see you when you get back. Get something good. Something better than dry cereal. All right, Bronco and Osiris going at it. The NXT rename special between those two names. Yeah, Lockwood, it always messes with my head a little bit when the entrance ramp, or should I say the hard cam, is on the other side for random shows on occasion. But yeah, I'll get used to it tonight. OTM fully in control right now. Here comes Santana. Big pop for Santana. Crowd's pretty hot. So Lockwood, they announced it last week. When DarkState challenged OTM to a 6-man tag, OTM responded and accepted, and they played a video package of Mike Santana saying he was going to come back to team up with OTM. Since they were going to be in New York, he's like, "You're coming into my backyard," all this other stuff. So they made much of it in the segment, but they didn't talk a ton about it on the rest of the show. So it would have been easy to miss if you didn't see the segment. And I tell you what, guys, other than Dion Lennox, as a single, it feels like the Jets have massively cooled on DarkState. Just the way they're even wrestling this match, they don't seem to have the same intensity, the same domination that they had as a group. Maybe I'm just projecting a little bit, but they are definitely working like they're outmatched by OTM. Middle rope, leg drape action from Lucian. Yeah, the Mark Henry special. I know. I think back to the Big Boss Man. That was the first time I remember seeing it a lot. Was the Big Boss Man, aka Big Bubba Rogers, Ray Traylor. But yeah, Henry did that too. Any slightly agile big man could always make a mountain out of that move. Last name, no, I don't think DarkState needs new people. I think these guys need to find their edge, or there doesn't need to be a DarkState. Quite frankly, groups like DarkState, where their MO is we're this outside invading force. Obviously, the most famous version of that was the New World Order. And if you're going to do that, you kind of need to have a little name cachet in order for that to truly be effective. Or the Nexus, where it was a bunch of rookies who had weeks of screen time in their own show. But when DarkState showed up, DarkState is not the NWO. DarkState's also not the Nexus either. Like, you did not know who was getting it. You know, you don't know who these people are. I mean, obviously we know who they are now over time, but like, part of the allure to being those groups is knowing who they are as soon as they show up. And we didn't know that about them. Oh yeah, Big Show, lean Big Show. Back when he was the Giant, did some insane offense for somebody his size. Yeah. Yeah, Sophie Dovey. So yeah, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3 is the immortal match this year's Hall of Fame, the match they're inducting the Hall of Fame this year. I think that's the perfect choice. Honestly, I think that match should have gone in before Brett and Austin, because that is the quintessential WWF/WWE match. And I know you said over Steamboat and Randy. I don't know if that was just for me or that's how you feel. Obviously, I like the Steamboat and Randy match better. That's one of my favorite matches of all time. But I'm in no denial that the importance of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant might be the most important American wrestling match of all time. So it's honestly kind of boggles my mind that wasn't the first match they picked. But I 100% agree with them putting it in now. And you can't put any other matches from WrestleMania 3 in before you do Hogan and Andre. So totally cool with that. The crowd is not with the ref right now. I think he missed a tag. Good old heat spot there. I'm curious if we'll see A and B on camera here tonight, because I believe they're there. Oh, don't worry, Sophie. Not every Hogan match will make it. There are a few more, though, that deserve to go in. His match with the Ultimate Warrior deserves to go in. I would argue his match with Macho Man at WrestleMania 5 deserves to go in as well. Beyond that, I'm not sure if there's any other Hogan matches that really stand out that are like no-brainers. But definitely two more for sure that were WrestleMania matches. Oh, yeah. Hogan Rock. You're right about that, Lockwood. I can't believe I forgot that one. I tend to forget about Hogan's work later on in his career, you know? When I think WWE, I think about Hulkamania Hogan. But yeah, Hogan and Rock that might actually be the next Hogan match to go in rather than Warrior or Savage. Yeah, could be. I'm slightly going to disagree with you there, Lockwood, about Taker's matches. We as wrestling fans, we revere the streak, but there were not very many legendary, immortal Undertaker matches at WrestleMania. The Shawn Michaels matches, both of them, 25 in particular, could be there. Him and Foley at Hell in the Cell could be there. And then what other Taker matches? I mean, they'll probably try to put a Triple H match in there. But 25 is the quintessential Taker WrestleMania match for sure. I don't think trilogies count, Sophie Duffy. Do I think Dom versus Finn should be hair versus hair? I don't think so, last name. Although I wonder if we'll see Demon Finn at Mania. That would be really fun because he's been inching back towards his not the demon persona, but he does have the old music back. It would be fun to see him put on the paint for Mania one more time. Triple power bomb on Santana, but nope, OTM breaks up that pin here. Oh, Santana with a roll up on Saquon. Almost gets a 3. Just those two in the ring right now. Lots of reversals. Oh, man. What a reversal catch right into a Death Valley driver from Santana. That was like a snap Death Valley driver. He put that on fast. And discus lariat. And now he dives out of the ring. And OTM dropping sugars. And that'll do it. That was a hot opener. A good old school 6-man tag. Hot opener, man. Felt like watching an old episode of Nitro. That's good stuff. Yeah, I like the addition of adding matches to the Hall of Fame because they do have such a deep pool they can pull from. I am very curious what the criteria is going to be because the first two matches have been WrestleMania matches. So I wonder if they will be WrestleMania matches going forward. I kind of would like it if they had some sort of short list of matches every year to be like this. These are the matches we're choosing from. But I could see that would totally rile some people up if they get their heart set on one match and another one gets chosen. Interview with Miles Bourne. I fully expect one of the TLC matches to make it in there too, with the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. But I have a feeling WWE tries to put off inducting certain things based on the people they know they will have available to be present for them. And right now, they could get the Dudleys and Hardys. But once Edge and Christian are free from AEW, maybe, we might see that TLC get inducted. Yeah, I one criticism I'll totally levy against WWE is a lot of times they will wait to induct people into the Hall of Fame until after they're dead, which is very frustrating because part of the honors of getting inducted is getting visibly recognized in front of the fans again. I hate that that's happening with Sid. Did that happen? I think that happened with Vader, or did Vader get inducted? But Vader's in the Hall of Fame, right? It was last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, like Macho. Like there's so many guys who deserve something better than what they got. I don't know which side of him going to show up, but I really hope that Johnny Wrestling. Look, when it comes to that, Miles. Oh, Johnny Gargano has just wandered into the interview, everybody. You need to be careful what you ask for. Before Stan and Deliver, there was Takeover. And they used to call me Johnny Takeover. And that guy is still somewhere in here. And you better pray. Thanks, Lockwood. I thought Vader was there. If I do, I will eat you alive. But, Miles, this isn't perfect. That is charity. If I win that, I go back to SmackDown, I get my life back, and I become the man I was always meant to be. Lose. I know what happens. The one thing I do know is in St. Louis, I will take you into deeper waters than you've ever been in before and show you. All right. It means to be a champion. So we're starting to get an idea that we're going to see Johnny wrestling at
First time in 2 months. I am not going to lay down
Stand and deliver. Okay. He said he's not going to lay down and die. Okay. But will you bring Rebel Heart with you? That's what I want to know. Johnny looks like his dog is on the verge of dying every time he's on camera these days. All right, here come the Americanos. Rayo and Bravo Americano are going to be taking on Birthright to determine who faces the Vanity Project at Stand and Deliver. So let's see what happens here. Somebody asked about Stand and Deliver predictions. George, I'm not going to do a separate video for that because I can only do so many hours through this platform every month. I'm finding out. So I may just tack it on to the show tonight. At the end of the show, we'll stick around for a few minutes. We'll go over the card together, and I'll give you my thoughts for that then. Because there's really not any other, A and B aren't here. Just Alex is. I don't think he follows NXT as much. So yeah, I'll just I'll share it with you guys here by the end of the show. Does it sound like a deal, everybody? Everybody want to hang out for a few more minutes? We'll go over Stand and Deliver, and we'll share our predictions there. It won't be a big time prediction show. However, big time WrestleMania prediction show will be coming in a couple of weeks with Just Alex, and I've been invited to be a part of that. So we'll be there. Best Hall of Fame class, Lockwood. Okay. Without having them all in front of me, it's hard for me to call, but I'll say this. I was at the 2008 Hall of Fame, and that was a really good class. You had Ric Flair was headlining. The Rock hosted it. It made the John Cena meme. Came from that night. The Briscoes were there, which they were kind of old school. Not Mark and Jay, but Jack and Gerald Briscoe. And then who else? The Rock's dad and his grandfather, I think, were both inducted. Rocky Johnson and Peter Maivia. I'm trying to remember who else, to be honest. But anyway, I'm going to look up a few Hall of Fame classes, and I'll give you my thoughts on who some of the goated classes are. This year's not a bad class, I got to admit, even with Stephanie being the headliner. So let's take a look. See if I can find a few classes here. So, I mean, if you're looking for quality instead of quantity, Andre was the only inductee in 93, which is not bad. Let's see. 94 was pretty old school, a little before my time, as was 95. Although there was a decent class: Pedro Morales, Georgie Animal Steel, Fabulous Moolah, Ivan Putski, a few others. Let's see. Not a bad class in 3. All right. So you got to make a case for 2004, because 2004, here's your class right here: Big John Studd, Bobby Heenan, Don Morocco, Greg Ballantyne, Harley Race, the Junkyard Dog, Jesse Ventura, Sergeant Slaughter, Superstar Billy Graham, and Tito Santana. Like all those heavy hitters right there. And also Pete Rose, back when they did the celebrity wing. Obviously, the 2005 class is the beginning of the major Hulkamania stuff. It was Hogan, Iron Sheik, Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Hart, Bob Orton Jr., Nikolai Volkov. So that's a good class as well. Honestly, big fans of work rate stuff. I think the 06 class is really good. because you have Bret Hart and Eddie Guerrero in that same class. You also have Mean Gene, Sherry Martel, and Vern Gagne, who, you got a lot of you guys might be familiar with Vern Gagne. He was the head of the AWA, but he was a legit wrestler of his own, on his own merits. Also the Blackjacks, Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza too. Hardcore old school Texas tough guy tag team. Um, 07's an interesting year too, because you have Dusty and Mr. Perfect. And then you have JR and the King. As well as Mr. Fuji, Nick Bockwinkel, and the Wild Samoans. We got Ring QCC here again. I'll be there for you every step of the way. I'll be here. You got this. All right. Ren takes off. Coming up now, though, this should be Birthright coming through now, which is Stacks and Connors. Okay. Stacks, the in-law of the Birthright. I will say 09 is a fat. Oh, Americanos said, nah, we're starting this match now. 09 is an all-timer class too. It's led by Stone Cold Steve Austin. You also have Ricky Steamboat there. You also have the Funks, so Terry Funk and Dory Funk in there, and the Von Erichs are there, as well as Howard Finkel, best announcer of all time. Coco Beware, which I respect Coco, but he's been my basement of Hall of Fame. Whenever people complain about, did this guy get in the Hall of Fame? I'm like, well, Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame. And then Bill Watts as well, who was, if you're following my Mount Rushmore match podcast with my brother, Bill Watts was responsible for one of the toughest times in WCW in terms of in-ring competition and hard-hitting wrestlers. So a definite tough guy. Anyway, maybe we can revisit some more Hall of Fame classes in the commercial breaks. But yeah, those are a few thoughts I have on some of those. Dusty's class, pretty good. Austin's class, really good. Being there for Flair's class was really cool. And obviously Hogan's class is pretty star-studded. But honestly, I would suggest the class before Hogan might have been even more star-studded. I agree, Nico. Sophie, I don't think NXT should have their own Hall of Fame per se, but it would be cool if they had something to kind of immortalize. Like, I wouldn't want to call it a Hall of Fame, but if they had something to recognize their greats, because let's face it, not everybody who is incredible in NXT makes it on the main roster, but I still like to see them get their credit, because some people really tear it up in NXT. And Stacks and Ariana just breaking it down here. And he eats a baseball slide drop kick. Oh, no. And Bravo here going to take along dancing now. Oh, gosh. She's going to freak out. On 2K, they added Jaida's Get It Parker chants. Wish they could do. Oh, that's cool. George brings up a good point about the winner of this match, because Vanity Project's a heel team. Technically, the Americanos are a heel team, but everybody's cheering them because they're amazing. But Birthright is also a heel team. And the thing is, I would rather see Birthright as the next tag team champions, but I don't know if I want to watch a Birthright Vanity Project match to get there. So that's a bit of a quandary. Too many heel tag teams. I feel like they had to really pivot to because Elio LaFleur got hurt. I imagine Elio LaFleur and Eli Knight would be in this match right now with Birthright instead. But who knows? Wonder who they'll have talk about the Hulk Andre match like they did with Austin and Brett last year. That's a good question. The thing about Hogan and Andre is that it's such a famous match. They really could get anybody to talk about it. But I'm trying to think, sadly, of who is still with us that was there for it, you know? Because God bless them, almost all the fixtures of that time are gone. And I mean, maybe you could bring in the only people I'm trying to think of that are still alive, but I don't even know if they would be, their personalities would be invited to come in, as like Ted DiBiase. He was close to that feud. Hunter may do it himself. I mean, I know everybody kind of hates Bruce Pritchard, but he was kind of there during that time. He was just getting started with WWE. Jimmy Hart. That's not a bad choice, Lockwood. Even though he wasn't involved in that feud. Not a bad choice. Because all the people in charge were people Hogan kind of held down. I mean, because Undertaker had not started yet, even though Taker knew Hogan. I don't know how well he knew Andre. This is a good thought experiment, though. I'm very curious about this. Or they might just put Cody or somebody out there to talk about it because he's the guy, right? Or they could dust off Cena to do it, you know, because he'll be there. You know what I tell you? If it wouldn't rile up everybody's expectations, and I mean this with all sincerity, if it wouldn't make people go crazy with fantasy booking, I think The Rock would be a really, really good person to talk about that match, because The Rock is probably the most Hulk Hogan-esque wrestler that we have. I mean, he's not wrestling anymore, obviously, but that Hogan kind of personality. And he knew Andre as a little kid. He'd met Andre as a little kid, and he's worked with Hogan. Yeah, if it were me and it could work out, I would have The Rock be a surprise inductee for that match. Why? Because it's the big. Listen, it is the biggest match in WWF's history, and like, I'm not going to argue that with anybody. Like, I just stubbornly believe that it's the most important match WWF's ever put on. And Rock is one of the biggest stars they've ever created. And he's also a lot more rare in his appearances than a John Cena or a Steve Austin or an Undertaker. So I think it could be a special moment if they want to do it justice. Because I honestly just don't know that a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels would give that match its due credit because of the way Hogan probably rubbed them the wrong way, you know? I could just see them being a little too petty about it. Brett, too, by the way. You know what would be interesting, though, is if they do it like the Oscars, where the guy who, if the guy's still alive, the guy who was there, the recipient of the match, you know, last year shows up the next year to give it away. That's not going to work in wrestling, unfortunately, but still. Anyway, lots of spinning going on here. Yeah, I don't. Does that count as another induction? I guess. Lexus King with the cane drops Bravo off the top rope. And then knee to the back of the head from Stacks to nope. Americanos survive. All right, Modfather's got a poignant question. Shiloh's here. And Shiloh is swinging for Lexus King. Crazy old Shiloh. Tatum's friend. Which is more iconic? Hearing the glass shatter, hearing If You Smell, or the gong. For my money, Hurricane Rana into Big Splash. Man, Connors barely breaks it up. I tell you what, Mobfather, I'm going to give you two answers here. I think the most iconic moment of any of them, singularly, one moment, was Austin showing up to help Mick Foley win the WWF title. Out of those three things. But as an enduring noise, in other words, every time it happens, who has the most sustained iconography of their entrance sound effect? It's the gong, and it's no question about it for me. Having heard all those noises live before, the lights going out and hearing that gong just raises the hair on your arms. It is aura before people were using the word aura. Oh, El Grande is here to now distract. There's been a whole bunch of shenanigans in this match. Leave your votes for the most iconic sound between Austin, Taker, and Rock. All right, the El Grandes have loaded up the masks. Stacks just got dropped. And now Ryo with another loaded headbutt. That could do it. Okay. So we have a stand and deliver match confirmed. The Vanity Project will defend against the Americanos. Los Americanos. Now, let me ask you a question. Next time you go online and you hear people complaining about Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, listen to this crowd. They are beloved and they're getting a title shot. I'll tell you what, Modfather. I think there were some guys who probably aura farmed before Taker, but nobody did it to the level that Taker did until he walked out. Until he walked out in 1990 of the Survivor Series. And because Hogan tried really hard to do some aura farming. But I'm telling you, nothing matched. And Taker did it in so many different ways. I'm not a huge fan of his Limp Bizkit era, but all the other Dead Man ones, he's just emitting aura. And the Ultimate Warrior had an aura about him too. Like the WWF was an aura factory. But I think the patience in Taker's entrance really made it what it was. DarkState crashing out. Other guys aren't talking.
Yeah, and if Stand and Deliver, I'm gonna make sure of it.
What's that mean? I swear, Dion, if you ruin that tag title match. Also, a beaten and defeated DarkState sitting there going, when DarkState's striking, nobody's safe, is one of the most unintentionally funny things I've heard this episode. That's crazy. Oh, here comes Miss Parker. Mr. Feeney's 99th birthday. God bless him. DarkState should go to TNA. That's a great idea, last name. Miss Parker and Miss Jordan. Modfather, you here for this match? Feel like this is right up your alley, my brother. Just a whole lot of excellence about to take place. A new theme. That's a good sign. Boy Meets Girl World was a great show. I didn't even mind Girl Meets World, honestly. My daughter was in the target demographic for that show when it came out, so I watched it with her. And it wasn't bad. Little did I know I was watching Sabrina Carpenter at that time. So it really messed me up to see who she's become now. I'm like, you're Corey's daughter's little friend. What are you doing? Anyway, it's the dad in me, I guess, just being protective. One year at my job at Halloween, I dressed up like the old man from Up, and someone thought I was Mr. Feeney too. So you know what? I really don't mind being compared to Mr. Feeney. He's a fantastic TV character. Kelani just swung on Jaida and ate a boot for her trouble. Yeah, Mr. Fredrickson. My father, I knew you were still here, brother.
A lot of women have said a lot of things that they're the best.
Yeah, Boy Meets World was a great show.
This is a huge one for these two women here in New York City. As Parker just showing Kelani to the ground, because we know these two are going to strike. I talked about the physicality. I talked about the verbal assault. These two are not going to shy from getting physical in the Big Apple. Here in Let me tell you something.
Kelani using the ring apron as an assist. You know, I kind of like the Kelani has found kind of an edge to her ever since being Knockouts champion. She's stepped her game up a little bit. It's been a little mild at times, but she's really doing something there. Love that for her. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people make it to 99 or 100, so I get it. Oh gosh.
Got too smart. How many times have I said it, Vic? It's about this game's about level. It's about having that playbook. It's about hitting IQ. And Kelani Jordan, man, she's been trained. There's trained and there's untrained. Kelani Jordan, she's been trained, man.
On a scale of 1 to 10, and when I mean this scale, I'm talking about just pure frustration. Where do you think Kelani Jordan is?
Somewhere around 8. I mean, that's fair. But one thing about Kelani Jordan, she's got She's not resting on what she's done in the past. She's just trying to move forward and add more to the collection. Add another notch on the belt.
Okay, so we're on commercial here.
A big loss. Let's talk about that. We're talking about not just a big loss, a knockout loss. It's about redemption, man.
Oh, right to the lower back of Jaida Parker goes to Kelani. Even though it doesn't make one up because she has won championship. But then you start to think.
So we've got Jaida and Kelani. I gotta wonder, will these ladies? I gotta have to bring up the stand and deliver card now that we're talking about it, because we've got the Fatal Four. So while we're on commercial break, might as well go over the card as it currently stands. So we got the Vanity Project versus the Americanos. We got Miles Bourne versus Johnny Gargano. We will find out who Jacy Jayne is facing tonight. Sol Ruca and Zarya, of course, and then Joe Hendry, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Tony D'Angelo as well. So we'll see what it brings. Now, it feels like a little bit of a small card, but that's also because mentally I'm preparing myself for how big the WrestleMania card is as well, right? But right now, we've only got 5 matches for Stand and Deliver. If I'm being honest, you guys, I'm not super excited about the NXT title match. This Fatal 4-Way, it's kind of Tony D'Angelo or bust for me. The Joe Hendry novelty, I like Joe Hendry. I think he's a good dude, and I'm happy for him. I feel like the novelty of him has worn off a little bit. And Sol and Zarya is strange to me because they've been building that feud longer than any of the other matches, right? So they put in the work for it, right? But after last week's, I'm very interested to see if they do a segment with them tonight, because after the face-to-face last week, I was already in my heart, I kind of wanted Zarya to win because she'd been kind of getting shafted the whole feud, right? But Sol came out there sounding like a heel to me. Like she was out there making excuses and kind of gaslighting Zarya and stuff. And anyway, it was not babyface work by Sol Ruca, in my opinion. So that's an interesting thing. The tag title match will be fun. And then we'll see what happens with Jacy. I mean, obviously, I feel like if we can get Kendal or Lola, if we can get a new champion, I think it'll be good, because I think Jacy's ready to move up. I agree, George. We should get Tatum versus Blake. They've been building to that too, and I think that title match should be on the card. That's the only singles title that is unaccounted for right now that is unannounced. So they should be announcing that tonight. And I feel like what we're watching right now between Jaida and Kelani, this is their stand and deliver match, I feel like. The same with that 6-man earlier. Honestly, tonight we are seeing the we're kind of seeing the stand and deliver of the talent that didn't get stand and deliver matches tonight. Miles Bourne and Johnny Gargano. I think that was the 5th match I don't think I discussed. And depending on how Johnny plays that match could be a lot of fun. If he just shows up and wakes up, and I know I keep begging for Rebel Heart, we probably won't get it. But if he shows up as Johnny Takeover, he and Miles could threaten to steal the show. Because I think Johnny will also make Miles look really good, because Johnny's smaller than Miles, and I think he can really make Miles shine too. Uh-oh. About to get dropped. Booker T channeling his inner what's that guy's character? Quagmire. Is it a giggy? Jada's shoulder been worked on though by Kelani. Kelani's gear, she kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty. That color scheme, that just clicked with me. I love it when wrestlers incorporate things like that. Kelani working on that arm and that shoulder. Oh, but we get a roll up instead. Nope.
We've known Jaida Carver to be the soccer player. That was a soccer style kick.
Look at the karate, George. I mean, she's got a mean streak there. I mean, she's all about doing that.
Frog splash only gets 2 for Kelani. Jaida getting right off there. Kelani getting a little frustrated. Kelani got Jaida up on her shoulders. She's going to try to do that split-legged moonsault. Nope. Jaida up and scouts her. Now she's going up. She's going to try to German suplex her or back suplex her off the top. Oh, gosh. Be careful, ladies. Good Lord. German off the top. And Kelani rotates just in time, but she rolls up and she gets a hypnotic. And then is that a new finish for Jaida? Miss Parker gets it. She hit the hypnotic and then gets the old A-Train, the old Albert choke bomb. All right. Well, Sharmonica, you're in tune. New finisher, new theme, new push maybe for Miss Parker. I tell you right now, if she puts a little more sauce on what she's doing and keeps being who she is, let's just say Jacy gets called up and Kendal Gray is the new champion. Kendal and Jaida could be doing something. May I take it, Modfather, you're the director of admissions at Yam University?
After watching Tatum act like a stalker towards you, I think it's realistic to say she could be anywhere.
Vanity Project and Blake Monroe chatting backstage.
Absolutely, especially since Tatum is definitely going to want her. Your type of.
Boys, I will be fine. You know the glamour obsession is just another accessory. And last week she called me by surprise.
Obsession is just another accessory. That's not a bad line.
She's the latest, right?
Okay. Just two heels gassing each other up. I know they do look like they're going to the beach. When I lived in the South, families of white people would always have these family portraits at the beach where they're all wearing like the same white button-up shirts like that and like khaki pants. Whenever you go to somebody's house, like you'd see it on the wall. My family never did that. Well, granted, my kids aren't white either, but we never did that. But that's what they looked like. Like they're going to Myrtle Beach. Ricky and Ethan walking backstage. Duly noted, Modfather. All right. The fire rises. Tony D'Angelo in the house. That's gotta be Bane. Oh, man.
And is currently trying to complete phase 2.
I'm here for a Tony Rain, though. He's clearly the most interesting of the four at this point. Here comes Ricky Saints. What's up, Dossie? Got some trailer questions. All right. While Ricky's making his entrance, oh, we're on commercial, so I'll just talk about it. Go see the Harry Potter, Masters of the Universe, Supergirl trailers. So no to Harry Potter. I've seen a few cast photos, but I have not seen a trailer yet. Masters of the Universe and Supergirl I both saw today. There are pieces of Masters of the Universe that I'm really excited about. I grew up playing with the toys and watching the cartoon, but I just wonder if I'm going to believe the performances of the characters to fully be those characters. Does that make sense? And then Supergirl, mild spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen the Supergirl trailer. It looks like a big chunk of the plot of that film is that there's a clock ticking on Crypto the dog, and he's going to die if Supergirl can't save him. And just seeing that in the trailer, I might be overreacting here, but got me really upset. I'm like, James Gunn, I know what James Gunn does in movies with animals and non-human characters and how he manipulates our emotions. And that was just, So I do find it to be the best trailer so far, though. There was a really good scene, a couple of good scenes with her and Lobo too. Well, it's not the exactly same plot point as Superman. I think Crypto being in trouble was a side plot of Superman, but this is framing it like it's the main point. I mean, obviously, it's about Supergirl, which her and Superman, when you both come from a planet that gets eradicated, you don't have a family anymore. It's about finding your family, which James Gunn did the found family thing with Guardians of the Galaxy really well. And as an adoptive father, I'm a big fan of found family stories, but I can understand how it can be repetitive. But does feel like a little bit of a different bend to it. Superman, Clark did not have a rebellious spirit about his family situation, really, whereas Kara really does. So I don't know, but I'll see it eventually, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But anyway, I've never been a huge. I'm not like a huge Supergirl crazy fan like I love Superman. So I that's all. All right, all 4 world title contenders, including the champion, are in the ring. But I do need to write. Somebody mentioned Daredevil. I need to watch that maybe tonight. The first 2 episodes at this point.
NXT Championship. It's going to be Tony D'Angelo versus Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page.
Yeah, George, it's the men's the world championship, the women's championship, tag titles, and North American title are the 4 title matches, and then you have Sol Ruka and Zarya. Assuming we'll get Tatum and Blake too. Robert Stone, by the way, is the permanent GM now.
You know what? You go first, Ricky. No, I insist you go. You go. No, please. No, you go.
Mutual Admiration Society between Ethan and Ricky.
You know, I cannot wait to see which one of you stabs the other one in the back first.
Oh, there's 2 tonight, Dossie. Okay, well, I'm going to need to put on some coffee. and watch all three so I can get caught up.
This little friendship that you guys have going on, I know it's going to fall apart. That's because you've made a mistake. You cannot distinguish between passion and desperation. You guys are desperate to be NXT champion again. But I'm passionate about being the NXT champion.
Joe Hendry says you can't tell the difference between passion and desperation. If they're desperate to be champion and he's passionate about it, I would argue being desperate to be champion might make you more dangerous. So I don't know that line hit the way he meant for it. Does passion trump desperation, guys?
I'm going to take that passion and use it to defend my championship. Because in spite of all the lies, the deception, the jealousy that you guys have going on, I'll be the one to stand. I'll be the one to deliver. And you will see me waving my hands from side to side with the entire world chanting, "We believe."
You know what?
Shut up. What are you, Dr. Phil?
I've heard enough puns on standing and delivering for a lifetime.
Friendship that me and Ethan have.
Yeah, totally, George.
You don't have friends in this life that you don't understand, but me and him, yes, we want the same thing, but that don't mean we can't support each other.
I kind of wish Ethan and Ricky had gone for the tag titles before getting to this point, since they were going to join up.
So here's what I'm going to do.
But it's okay.
On Saturday, Stand and Deliver, I'm going to make everything right in this world for once when I become a two-time NXT champion. Thank you. Now everything will be right in the world Saturday because, you know, I've been kind of wasting my time focusing on being the greatest North American. And I feel like I was selling myself short, and my good friend Ricky reminded me of my true value. And the truth is, there ain't anyone better than me in the entirety of the WWE. I don't want to be the greatest North American. No, I deserve global recognition. So, I will be the one becoming NXT champion.
They cut to Ricky and the crowd just popped. Yeah, Lola and Kelani main eventing tonight. Good for them. Put some bass in your voice, Tony. Come on. Talk like Bane. When Stand and Deliver is in ashes, then you have my permission to die.
Just as fast as you wanted, you lost. Ricky Saints, you came in, you were supposed to be the new face of the brand. You're absolutely underwhelming.
Man, screw New York for whatting. A and B, you better not be whatting right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to text AJ and be like, you better not be whatting Tony D'Angelo.
Listen, man, I got no quarrels with you, all right? But this isn't about going viral or fan interaction. This is about winning the biggest prize that NXT has to offer. Now, you might not agree with me, but you're an outsider just like them. I'm NXT born and bred. NXT is in my blood.
I did. I text him right now to tell him to stop whatting Tony D'Angelo. The disrespect.
Because come Saturday and Stand and Deliver, I'm going to run you three over like a damn freight train.
Run him over like a freight train. It's going to rain tonight.
Now, Stone, you know how these things go. I suggest you get the hell out of the ring.
Oh, Tony. I like it. Tony looked at Robert Stone and says, you know how these things go. I suggest you get out the ring. It's like we're about to put some people through some tables. Ricky. Oh, no.
Page and Saints, the two buddies
Oh, Ethan puts Joe Hendry through the table, and Tony puts Ricky through the table. I mean, we can turn the house lights back on now, guys. Yeah, we got to have Tony as NXT champion. All right, Jasper Troy, Keanu Carver, and not Jasper Troy, Josh Briggs is the special guest referee. What's up, A and B? Stopping by to say hi. We got to give them their props. Greetings, everyone, live from Madison Square Garden. A and B combos. Make sure you guys hop over to their channel in the next day and two, because they're uploading some content where they got to meet some of the NXT superstars. They already had an interview with Miss Parker, so make sure you take a look at that. And I believe there are a few others as well that they should be putting together. So make sure you check them out after the show if you don't mind. Love that for y'all. And I hate you guys in the most loving, jealous way. Wish I could have been there myself to meet some of these great people that we've gotten to know over the past year watching this show. But one day, all things will come to pass. So we'll get there eventually. Let's see. George Watch Stone is going to make it a triple threat for the women's championship if Fatal Influence gets involved. Yeah, I can see that happening, George. You could. Let me ask you this, George. If it is a triple threat, do you think that Jacy takes the pin, or do you think Kendal or Lola, take the title from one another? Because you could always have, Jacy lose the title without losing the title. And if they manage to do that, talk about how crazy strong she would be in that scenario. You know what I mean? Debuting on the main roster as being the woman who beat Stephanie Vicaire and then never having lost her title, All right, we should be coming back here.
City Infosys Theater in Madison Square Garden, and remember, no other referee wanted to officiate this matchup.
And there's Josh Briggs.
No problem getting in the middle.
All right, hear me out. Kendal Gray getting pinned by Lola Vice, and she becomes a double champion. Interesting. That's an interesting thought. All right, here comes Keanu. Straight out of the principal's office, Keanu Carver. Straight out of ISS. Just seems like a troubled student. RT Rig, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. We got ourselves a stand and deliver card shaping up quite nicely this weekend. Los Americanos will be taking on the Vanity Project for the tag titles. Got Johnny Gargano taking on Miles Bourne for the North American title. We've yet to find out who's going to be facing Jacy Jayne for the Women's Championship. But then we had a good old-fashioned contract signing just before the commercial break that broke down into pieces between Tony D'Angelo, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and NXT champion Joe Hendry. All right, here come the Marley-like chains of Jasper Troy. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Oh, Keanu Carver just knocked Jasper Troy right off the apron before we've even gotten started. Yeah, it's the Booker T special here. No bread, no water, just meat in this match. For this match, I feel like Carver's probably going to take it. They're building him up to be something nasty. But will Briggs somehow be a factor here? Carver's trying to take the chain. The Jaspers, they're tug of warring. That is the chinkliest. I don't know. The chain makes a lot of noise. A lot of high-pitched noise. Now the bell's rung. We get an avalanche there from Jasper Troy in the corner.
Like I say, Carver and we had a disagreement the first time I ran into this guy. Let you know he don't have a whole lot of respect for this bitch. He probably don't even know who I am. So my thing is this. Am I going to give him a benefit of the doubt? Yes. But do I want Jasper to be that? Of course I do.
This is going to be human demolition.
Keanu Carver, by the way, kind of wearing that 1988, 89 Mike Tyson boxer short kind of gear. Keanu tries to step to Briggs. Briggs not afraid. I'll tell you what's wild is that Briggs is wearing one of those ref earpieces too. So, like, he's legit reffing this match. Keanu already jawing at Booker T. Is it a fan plant? Whoa, Keanu just tried to put his hands on a fan. Briggs just got in his face. Keanu's definitely a guy who's like, whoever wants to smoke can get it. Choke slam coming right into the announce table and flatten out it goes like a cardboard box. NXT chance and then black hole slam. Is that going to be it? Ooh, only two. You hear Booker yelling, finish him. Oh, there it is. Briggs did not stand being disrespected. Pounce from Keanu Carver. And Briggs just big booted Jasper. And now Carver's in control. We're going to get a power slam, Davey Boy Smith style, from Keanu. And that's 3. Carver wins it. And Briggs was indeed a factor. Booker's not happy with Briggs either. Agreed, RT Rick. Nobody did the pounce like the alpha male. Although, I will give Keith Lee some credit. Keith Lee was a great pouncer as well. The match happened so fast, too. Like, I felt like they could have drawn that out a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Carver's demanding Briggs raise his hand, but Briggs just straight up Russian sickled him. So Briggs laid out both dudes. I think Briggs trying to remind everybody that he's the best big man in NXT. All right, we got LaFleur and Eli Knight and Sean Legacy and Hank and Tank hanging out. Looks like a McDonald's green room back here.
Physically, Legacy and what does our actually through that physically? And my wrist just came back and my labrum and ligaments out on my shoulder. I'm out for 6 months.
Elio LaFleur is out for 6 months. He's gonna have to give up the speed title.
Someone told me that the tournament to crown your champion start next week. It is, and I think you should enter and win it. Hey, say less, bro.
LaFleur is telling Eli Knight, "Oh, there's Ren."
Sorry, I hurt your shoulder. And honestly, I just can't.
What's up, guys? Why is everyone so sad? Bro, you see what I did to the Birthright? They're gonna be so pissed. Yeah, we love the psycho enthusiasm as always, but when it comes to Saturday, bro, we're all just on the outside looking in, man. It's really just not the right time.
Well, I'm not gonna send and deliver either, but I got an idea.
Oh boy. Shiloh Hill says he's got an idea that seems to be related to Stand and Deliver. Something all those people had in common is that none of them are on the show. So Hank and Tank, Eli Knight, Shiloh Hill, and Ren Sinclair. The last thing you ever want to hear is Shiloh Hill say he has an idea. It's got to be dangerous. Yeah, some kind of party. But do you want to ever go to a party that's being hosted by Shiloh Hill? Answer honestly. Will that be the case? Lockwood, who inducts AJ Styles? That's a great question. There's two people that come to mind immediately. One's John Cena. The other Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know if they would bring anybody in from like TNA to do it. I'm just trying to keep it WWE thinking. I don't know who else would you include, to have induct AJ in that regard. Bobby Roode, that's not a bad idea. Kurt, okay, Kurt's not bad either. I like these ideas. Let's keep them coming. Kurt's not bad. Abyss could be a good one too. By all intents and purposes, from watching Unreal, Abyss seems to be like the nicest guy in the world. So I imagine he would give a really sweet speech about AJ. Let's see. Yeah, Gallows and Anderson is a good. Balor could be a good one too. Sting, yeah, if they could get Sting, that would be great. But honestly, I'm still a little sore. I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know if it's WWE's fault for not asking, if it's Tony Khan's fault for lying about it, that he was asked and he didn't bother or whatever. But I really, really, all due respect to Diamond Dallas Page, I really wanted Sting to be the one to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame last year. And that feels like a real missed opportunity. Love DDP. He's doing some amazing humanitarian level work with rehabilitating wrestlers. And he did some great work with Scott Hall back in the day. And then rehabilitating Jake the Snake, working with Luger, and so he was the second best option for sure. But the history between Sting and Luger, man, that would have been so special. So special. Shimonica, you have a reason why they went with Gunther. They have Gunther and Brock kind of as allies. Butterbean. Then they start having a little tension going to SummerSlam. You know what? I don't want to get too deep into my SummerSlam predictions because I'll be giving those on Just Alex's show. But I will say this. I like you creating some connective tissue between Gunther and Brock. Heyman being the middle piece there. I like the idea of that because theoretically you could have one of those guys win and one of those guys lose at Mania. Let's just say theoretically, not saying it's my prediction. Let's say Gunther beats Seth and Oba beats Brock. And now you have the Monday Raw, the Raw after Mania and Brock is walking in as a loser, and Paul Heyman is proclaiming the glories of Gunther for protecting him, right? And then you start to have tension. And then you could have Gunther, Brock being pissed at Gunther because he's catching the favor of Paul Heyman, which seems like a bit of a childish motivation. But, you know, it would be interesting to see Brock care about something that's not money or, a title. Anyway, we'll see. Hey, there's Tatum. There's Tater. To be honest, if Gunther and Drew win and Oba lose at Mania, Oba will lose. But I claim Drew is losing. Yeah, I feel pretty. There's some matches that I don't have a clue what to predict, but there's a few that I feel very strongly about who should win, and I will make those opinions known for sure. Tatum Paxley, your North American champion, although the belt is stolen from her. All right, Tay.
Last week, it felt so good to grab Blake Monroe by her perfect
Daphne vibes. I can see that. Man, God bless her, Daphne. You're at peace.
Blake Monroe is a very complex woman. And that
Yes, Shamanica, I will create a community prediction contest for WrestleMania. I think I've just still been waiting for the matches to get announced, but we have a ton of them announced now. So I think this week I can start working on it. So that way we have one wide open for the time we have the prediction show open. All right. Tatum has invited Blake Monroe to show herself. And here comes Blake with title in hand.
Tatum, darling, I don't understand what your problem is with me. I mean, I have no issue with you.
Yeah, I think Bray's time is coming for sure.
See, this North American Women's Championship just feels right. I never did lose it in the first place. And now that it's in my hand, I hope you understand. I can't give it back. I can't. I can see why people get so blinded by it. But let's face it. You have something that I want. But I think I have something that you might want too.
Tatum says she thinks she has something the Glamour wants.
Look at you and look at me. How could that possibly be true? You have my championship. And I have the opportunity that you have been waiting for in the palm of my hands. The opportunity you to have your first stand and deliver match. Because what's NXT's biggest show of the year without Blake Monroe? Blake. You're different. There are parts to you that people wouldn't understand.
Yeah, Tatum is totally gothed out, that's for sure.
I get why you wouldn't want to talk about those parts because you bury them so deep. But wouldn't you just hate it if you had to sit at home and just watch? Stand in?
Are they going to have some kind of a gimmick match?
You crave that sense of belonging, and I get it. That feeling is deep within me because that feeling has caused me to do unbelievable harm. It has taken my mind to places that I never thought existed. And I think you feel all that too. Because that's why you're holding a title that does not belong to you. So let's make both of us happy here. We can get what we want.
If they hadn't announced a ladder match for Mania, I feel like this would be a great Razor Shawn situation.
That is quite the proposition. And you would be the perfect co-star to star alongside me on the biggest show. I accept your offer for a match this Saturday.
Okay, add him to the card.
But to say that the same things that run through your brain run through mine is a little crazy, Tatum, even for you. You and I are polar opposites. I am a polished woman. I am perfection. I am the standard of NXT. The CW named an espresso martini after me. My hotel has a view of the city, and you, well, you look like you belong in the crowd with these dirty New Yorkers.
Cheap heat. But it works. New York is easily triggered.
You're a sweet girl, Tatum, but you're a champion by title. This championship needs a woman.
No. You're gonna give me my title back, so I'm not gonna get blindsided by some surface level crap. I get that there's a side to you that comes out when you get really angry, but there's a worse side to me. I can be the goth to your glamour. I can be the fire to your hell. I'll let you decide your fate for Saturday, but tonight, you're gonna give back what belongs to me.
Okay. There we go. Come on. Take a swing. Get her to drop the belt. My goodness. Oh. Tatum drops Blake. Grab the belt, girl. And Blake still snatches it and runs away. You know, RT Rick, I hear your criticism there. And something I was thinking about is that I think there's too many feuds over the course of NXT that are based in like psychology. And not ring psychology, but psychology. I'm like, dude, just hate each other. Just want to fight.
It's going to be a 10-person mixed tag team match with all of Birthright against EK, Shiloh Hill, Hank and Tank, and the women's speed champion, Ren Sinclair.
Okay. A 10-person mixed tag before Stand and Deliver. So Stand and Deliver gets a pre-show. Briggs, Jasper, and Keanu next week in a triple threat. Kelani crashing out. Oh, she's dropping Miss Parker. We'll get another fight next week. Tatum and Nikki Cross. Yeah. They could probably be a pretty convincing tag team for sure. Interesting. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm going to go feed the channel mascot. I will be just right back. So you guys just hang in there. And I'll be right back, fellas and ladies. All right, everybody, we're back. We're still on commercial break, but we are in here making our way back to the show. So we still have Kelani versus Lola. Not Kelani, sorry. Kendal versus Lola in the main event to determine who faces Jacy Jayne at Stand and Deliver. So should be a good time. And we also have, I guess, a Stand and Deliver pre-show as well. And yeah, so we're going to do this thing. A 10-person mixed tag. So I guess that was Shiloh Hill's idea, unless we see something truly insane the day of Stand and Deliver during the mixed tag. But if it's 5-on-5, that's going to be Eli Knight, Shiloh Hill, Hank and Tank, and Ren Sinclair against the Birthright. So that's Ariana, Dempsey Connors, Stax, and Lexus. We're getting a video package on Zaruka.
That's the great thing about this dynamic that we have going on is that I have a badass best friend in my corner. We want to help each other, but we don't need each other to become successful. With Zarya by my side, it was just so sweet.
Soul Roofing is the first name when it comes to athleticism and creation.
Three, two, one.
Soul continues her reign as a super champion in NXT.
And I'm so stoked to be the NXT Female Superstar of the Year.
Soul Roofing.
2026 is going to be even bigger and even better. Zarya, you will never get what you want as long as Soul keeps using you.
Oh, Sarah. Best friend's a double champion. You don't have a thing.
I'm a lucky girl. I'm lucky. I fought so hard for this title, but there is no one that I trust more than you, Zarya. I have to get back to Zidane. You get all of these opportunities that I don't get.
See, this video package is doing a far better job of showing Zarya as a jealous partner than Soul ever did on the mic.
Watching you succeed.
All I wanted was to pull you forward. I gave you my spot as a battle royal. I watched you winning the championship. I even let you defend and lose my American championship. They said Zarya too because we were a team. So you think that you can stand on your own and prove it? Stand and deliver. That's fitting that where it all started is where it's going to end. As long as you are standing up and never going to. You're not the villain in this story. You're the mistake.
Well, I'm glad I'm out of that mess.
JC. Well, I'm glad I'm out of that.
We don't have no problem. Totally.
All there's left to do now is.
Ooh, Fallon's giving looks.
I know exactly why everyone wants what you have. And I'm not talking about these two. I make it crystal clear what I want.
Is he? Well, is he throwing a little shade, a little gasoline on that fire? Fallon totally giving some side eye to JC in that. Yeah. Shamanica, I don't think they should have let Soul cut that promo last week. She buried herself in that promo, as she had me cheering for Zarya. But they should have let that video package do the talking. It was far better. All right, we got Tatum and Blake for the North American Championship as well this weekend. Yep, and of course the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship.
But it's now time to determine who will challenge for the NXT Women's Championship.
Oh, we getting the little anticipation music. The dum 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 dum. The I Love Ren QCC shirt. Oh, that's cute. And there's Miss Lola Vice. All right, here we go. Who you got, Lola or Kendal? Main event time, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely could be some shenanigans in this match, George. You're right about that. I'm still just gonna slightly lean towards Kendal in this match, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Biggest PLEs, one of the greatest wrestling cities in all the world. Saturday. NXT stands up in St. Louis. The stakes are high. The world is watching, and only the best stand and deliver. NXT stand and deliver. Saturday.
T-Rex says Kendal. Shamanica says, want JC, Kendal, Lola, Izzy, Fallon. Ooh, just had the whole thing break down there. Okay. Last name says Lola. George says, you want Lola to win, but like this could end up a triple threat match. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility for sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I got to say this. I think if Lola wins this match outright, she needs to win at Stand and Deliver, because I know like Shamanica, you're pointing out Kendal had a shot in January. Well, Lola had a shot last fall too, in her hometown in front of her dad, and still lost back when, Laney Reed joined up with Fatal Influence. So it feels like if either of these women win it outright, they better win all the way when it comes to JC. but we'll see what happens. We shall see. We shall see indeed. Leave a triple threat or a ladder match. Yeah, I would have been more conducive to the idea of a ladder match for Blake and Tatum. But then when Penta announced that ladder match last night, I'm like, they're not going to do a ladder match at Stand and Deliver 2. Not when they just announced one for WrestleMania. But I could be wrong. They might do that. Here's a question for you guys. Regardless of whether it's a one-on-one match, triple threat match, what match do you think should main event Stand and Deliver? Should it be the NXT Championship? Should it be Jacy Jayne's title defense? Should it be Soul versus Zarya? What do you think should be the main event of Stand and Deliver? George asks, let's say if we do get a triple threat women's championship, I can see Fallon turn it on Jacy and she loses to either Lola or Kendal. Yeah, I could see it. I could see that too. George thinks it should be the women's title main eventing. I'm inclined to agree. I think the women's title has been consistently the most interesting title scene all year. I will say that I wish Soul versus Zarya was for the title still, but that's not what it's going to be, and that's okay. But that is something I would have preferred in how things were being booked out, right? But yeah, last name, you're right. Kendal does have a sort of a rocket strapped to her right now, so it might be a little much this soon. So maybe Lola is the direction you go. We'll see. I heard them announce that the IC qualifiers were on main event, but I didn't know when that happened. I mean, I don't watch main event, but I don't mind that being the way they decide to put people in the match, though. I think it's going to be a fun match. I think it's going to come down to Penta and Javon. All right, here comes Kendal.
And who will be the #1 contender to Fatal Influences? Jacy Jayne, who we heard from earlier tonight, and the gold she wears so proudly, that being the NXT Women's Championship.
This is going to be good, man. This is going to be good.
But we said it earlier, a big fight in the Big Apple with big city dreams on the line.
A big step up for Kendal as well.
Who is headed?
All right, Kendall's not running her corner.
And this Saturday in St. Louis, you can stream Stand and Deliver domestically on YouTube, internationally on Netflix. And here we go. And honestly, Booker, how do you break this match down between these two?
Talking about the keys to victory, right?
Yep.
I mean, Kendal Ray, she's definitely.
All right, we're underway, and this is our main event. Let's see these ladies bring it.
Let me tell you something. Lola Vice, she's got those educated feet as well as knockout power. Anything can happen in this match.
It takes 3 seconds to get a victory. Also,
Javon has not held a championship, Dossie. That's been the crazy thing is this whole time he has been titleless. Yeah, but winning his first championship at WrestleMania would be nutty. I feel like Penta just got the title, though, so I feel like they're not going to take it off him, but Javon would be a wild choice to go with. Ovation from New York for the wrestling.
I'm sure that brings a smile to your face. Look at tonight's NXT recap presented by Progressive. And this is gonna be
Ooh, arm drag reversed into a headlock was pretty dope there by Lola.
This could be a big game of chess. Ray's a net technician. We've talked about it. We've seen the submission skills. We've also seen the submission skills of Lola Vice, and we know about the combat background, shoulders down, and the kick out.
All about every prowess here. I mean, you saw Jasper Troy just got counted with the quickness there from Lola Vice. But like I said, it's going to be a chess match. Beautiful.
right, who relinquished the Women's Evolve Championship to pursue Jacy Jayne right now in there with Lola.
Yeah, good match so far. Solid back and forth here. Just straight up wrestling.
I love that right there.
And there's also a healthy respect between the two. As you see that amateur background coming into display right now. Nice quick takedown and transition by Lola Vice. There is respect between the two, but look, you know better than I do. That is thrown out the window. Both these women are going to have that killer instinct, as you like to say.
Right now, we are at the highest level of competition right here. Like I say, that respect, it definitely going to go out the window when it comes down to a championship opportunity.
And these two women fighting to head to the biggest night this Saturday in St. Louis. And this is the submission skills we were talking about. Lola Vice trying to extend the arm, trying to do her best to roll through. And now Kendal now maybe looking for a submission in her own right. And Lola, Kendal so close to that bottom rope. Lola though, shifted weight, shoulders down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say in this match, which is not a bad thing. This match has been pretty competitive so far, but Lola starting to assert some control. Do I think Thea Hale will show up at Stand and Deliver? I imagine she'll make an appearance somewhere, somehow. You'd think so, right? Maybe in a segment, maybe backstage. I don't know that she'll get involved in any of the matches. Oh, what a reversal. A series of reversals by Kendal. Cartwheel on the apron, missing a strike, and then sliding between Lola's legs. And then just gets messed up with a body shot by Lola coming off the ropes.
But for Lola Vice, the MMA flair, that's why she's the queen of the undercard.
Let this thing go a little bit that this is a big match for both of them.
All right, striking kicks from Lola. All right, Booker's all riled up now. Oh, nobody home in the corner. Lola takes one shot, but the second one comes up empty. Oh, kicks Kendal right off the apron. What's Lola about to do? Oh! All right, we're about to take a commercial break. Should be the last one for the night while the action spills to the outside. So, yeah, let me hit you up with some Stand and Deliver predictions right now. So, pre-show match, we have a 10-person mixed tag match, which is Birthright, which is going to be Lexis King, Stax Lorenzo, Charlie Dempsey, Uriah Connors, and Ariana Grace, versus Eli Knight, Shiloh Hill, Hank and Tank, and Ren Sinclair. You know what? Give me Birthright for that match. I think they'll cheat their way out of it. For the NXT tag titles, the Vanity Project versus Los Americanos. That's a hard call because I feel like the Americanos, they hop around everywhere, right? Raw, NXT, AAA. I feel like the Vanity Project may retain there. I just feel like the Vanity Project's going to retain, and it's going to be another team that takes the belts off of them. Miles Bourne versus Johnny Gargano. I tell you what, man, I would love to see Johnny take this one. And so much of it depends on what kind of state of mind, kayfabe-wise, Johnny shows up in. But I think Johnny's just visiting. I just feel like Johnny's just visiting, and Miles is going to retain. After that, so we'll skip the women's title match. Soul versus Zarya. Now that Soul versus Zarya is not a title match, it's just a grudge match. Honestly, I feel like Zarya should win that match. I'm going to call Zarya winning it, and I think Soul is leaving NXT. That's what I would call for there. There's that. Tatum Paxley versus Blake Monroe. I would like to see Tatum retain. Well, and get her belt back. I mean, that's kind of been the whole story, is her trying to get her belt back anyways, even though she hadn't actually lost it. And then move Blake Monroe, by the way, up to the women's title picture after this. And then Joe Hendry versus Ricky Sainz versus Ethan Page versus Tony D'Angelo. Give me Tony. Give me Tony all day. I need it to be Tony and no one else. And for that, I don't know who's going to win here between Lola and Kendal, but I think whoever wins this match beats Jacy Jayne. And then after beating Jacy Jayne, I think the new women's champion feuds with Blake Monroe. That's and I think Blake is next woman up for the women's title. I feel like whoever beats Jacy is probably going to be a bit of a transitional champion. It's just my opinion. So those are my stand and deliver predictions during the commercial break. As we're coming back to Kendal and Lola, Kendal Gray and Lola Vice, #1 contenders match.
We're watching Kendal Gray get drugged into those deep waters right now by Lola Vice. Let me tell you right now, she's keeping the pressure on. I talked there.
You think about standing delivery, you think about the women's division. So sorry, a Blake Tatum for the women's North American Championship all going down. Vince Sherman, suplex, Kendal now. Both feeling Kendal Gray right now is getting ready to take it to the next gear.
You know what I'm wondering? What's Kendal Gray playing a little positive there? Trying to save some energy for these great rounds here, Vic.
And if you're getting late in this round, we talked about it in a second, late in the matchup, you start talking about the pressure that starts to mount for both these women to get to the biggest stage we have to offer. Is Lola Vice going to feel that pressure a little bit more than Kendal Gray to finally seize the line?
Okay.
So close to that championship line. You know, that might be true.
Back fist misses. Excuse me. Lola in trouble. Kendal going for an armbar. Can she get it? And roll up. Oh, Lola just snatched Kendal into a choke. Her knees bent a little funny too on the way down. Kendal's did.
Trying to coach her through this. Is the panic starting to set in though for Kendal? Kendal trying to break the hold.
Right now, Lola's got those legs locked right now. Kendal Gray is in a down position. And she has
Oh, roll up into a, yeah, almost got a dragon sleeper. Oh, there's the spinning back fist, but Kendal spills to the outside of the ring. Lola, if you're thinking you don't have to actually pin her, and here comes Fatal Influence. George did call it. Kendall's recovering.
As this matchup continuing, looking for the German on the outside, big kick though from Lola. Lola just measuring now.
And oh, hip attack misses and goes into the steps from Lola.
Just a minute ago, but they can't finish it out here, Vic. This got to be in the middle of that way.
It is a true fight for women. They do not want to count out to go to stand and deliver. They will.
All right, ladies getting back into the ring. Fatal Influence still at ringside, as is Ren Sinclair.
We talk about opportunity. With opportunity comes risk. Kendal to the top.
Kendal up top. And oh, jumps right into a spin kick from Lola. Folds her up, only 2.
Take a look at New York City. Everyone is standing for this matchup, for this main event, for this moment. Right to the bottom. Great trick by Lola. Presence of mind. Give credit to the city and see them. NXT Universe rallying both these women.
Oh, back suplex. She flips out of it. And now, oh, kick misses. Oh, Kendal with a spinning elbow on her own. 2.9. Kendal's elbow looked nasty. Jeez. That did some damage.
nice and wisely by still getting into the ropes.
Now, Kimber had the arm hooked and somehow
Mm.
Lola squeezed it out.
Well, these ladies are leaving it all out here tonight, that's for sure. As we're coming to the close here pretty soon. All right, now they're just throwing hands.
This is what it means to challenge for the women's title and stand and deliver. New York City, they knew they were in for some fights tonight, and they're getting one between these two. Big kick back by Lola, and Lola now letting it Kendal once again.
Oh, kick got caught. Lola's kick got caught into an ankle lock. Middle of the ring. Lola's reaching. Oh, dragged into the middle of the ring. And, rolls through. Only a 2 count. Oh, double leg takedown. 2. Oh, bridged out. Good job, ladies. Right into a guillotine from Lola. I've never seen the bridge out of a pin into a guillotine choke. That's pretty dope. She's got that guillotine locked on Kendal in the middle of the ring. Yes, that back elbow should absolutely be Kendal's finisher. The way she hits that. Tornado DDT. Nope. Oh, wow. Kind of like a tornado DDT, but rolls into the guillotine choke. Was that a tap? That wasn't a tap. Okay. It looked like Kendal tapped, but I guess not. She's passing out. Or is she? Kendal's trying to stand to her feet. Northern Light suplex. Wow. Kendal steals the win. She wouldn't. Okay, the ref is saying that Kendal tapped. I swear I saw her tap. There's a second ref in the ring now saying that Kendal tapped and the ref didn't see it. Smart move by Lola, too, by the way, not letting go of the hold. George, I think you're going to call it, man. I think we're going to get a triple threat as a result. Check the replay. So that's the Northern Lights. Oh! Kendal was tapping during the pin. She's tapping during the 3 count. So now what? Crowd's chanting, "You tapped out." These ladies' timing was impeccable. She tapped right on the 3. HBK is here. Sean's here. I said HBK is here, and is here is a trigger phrase for the channel mascot. So he actually thinks Shawn Michaels is at my house. I was just kidding, buddy. He's not actually here. He's in New York. Is this going to go off the air without a resolution? Are you for real? Wow. They literally on the go. Stay off the internet, everybody. Stay off social media. Well, I mean, you can't because that's probably where they're going to announce what happened. I can't believe on the equivalent of their WrestleMania, they have not announced what the title match is going to be on the Go Home show for that show. Could you imagine on the SmackDown before Mania, us not knowing who's going to face Cody Rhodes for the world title? That is a real choice. Now, listen, I'm not going to crash out too hard on this because I think the obvious solution here is that it's going to be a triple threat match, and that's fine. I think that'll be good. But at the same time, that had to have been a timing issue, right? Something went long on that show that shouldn't have. I'm trying to think what went long in that show. I feel like something went long in that programming, which is very un-NXT like. NXT is, I honestly, I think one of the most well timed out shows that they have. And I brag about their programming structure every week. But wow. because there's no other program to drive people to. It was still a great show. It was still a great show. It was kind of like a stand and deliver for the people who aren't going to be on stand and deliver, you know? Yeah, I'm sure A&B will probably leave some comments on that as well. They talked about trying to stream stand and deliver themselves. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man. I don't know. But yeah, exactly. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. Obviously, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a triple threat. And I feel like Jacy Jayne may end up losing the title without getting pinned. But we'll wait for the official word on that. Nevertheless, really good show tonight. Well done all around. And we'll be back for Stand and Deliver on Saturday for sure. Maybe SmackDown on Friday if I can figure it out. We might do a really bare bones version of SmackDown here and do that. We'll see what we can do. But keep your eyes on the card for Stand and Deliver. I'll definitely see you guys on Saturday. Keep an eye on the channel for whether or not we go live on SmackDown. I don't know if we'll do that or not because we're going to have a lot of excitement going on in the house at that point. But definitely see you guys Saturday for Stand and Deliver. And as for NXT, thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it each and every week. Love you guys so much. We have a new Mount Rushmore episode on Sting that is live on the channel now. You can go see it. And until next time, don't forget to be a mark, because being a mark means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. Have a great night, everybody. Take care of yourselves.